Hi, thank you for joining me. Today I'd like to discuss with you my reason for phasing out the ready-to-use spiritual bath. Now those reasons were because I can lower the cost of shipping, I can also decrease the chances of damage of the also product. To shift your participation to a more vital time in the spiritual bath process. Now what was happening before is I used to mail out the spiritual baths in a container like this. This is a pretty large container. I could get about 3 of these into the flat rate mailbox that the post office offers, and that's about $14 now. The problem was this plastic would sometimes get damaged in transit. There's not enough room in the box to properly cushion this with packaging. Also, the cap here, it does not go on really deep, and so sometimes it's shallow, so sometimes it will cause a leaking up here around the rim. I then moved to using these containers, and this plastic is a little heftier, and so it could take a little bit more beating or tossing around of the box. This cap here is a little deeper, and so it would go on more securely. I haven't had any problems with leakage or breakage using these bottles. The problem is it takes about 2 of these bottles to equal 1 of these, but I was able to add more packaging to cushion this and to ensure it against damaging. So the new process that I'm using now is that I'm sending out the concentrated essential oil blends that I prepare for the bath. It's usually 1 of these bottles. These are glass bottles. They cap really nicely. The glass helps to preserve the oil itself, keep it from going rancid, and maintain that level of fragrance, aroma that each essential oil has. The cap goes on really nicely. I haven't had any problem with leakage. Also, I'm able to place several of these in the small flat rate box. I think it's about that size. You can mail DVDs or VHS in it. And I am able to add enough packaging to it that would properly cushion this bottle when it's being mailed to you. So that means that several different baths can be sent in the same box. Now the reason that I said your participation is being shifted to a very vital time is because these are concentrated blends and they have to be diluted, otherwise they will irritate the skin. So it's during that dilution process that your energies are being directed to that part. Your intent and your energies are being infused at that point, and that is a very vital time of the spiritual bath making process. I like to use the analogy of a cake in order to demonstrate that. I believe that you can place energy on anything at any time, but it's during that process, that part of the process, that is more vital. So that means if you have a cake that's ready to eat, you can pray over it or infuse it with energy before eating it, but it is already the cake that is going to be. However, if you shift your attention to the time that you are preparing the cake, for instance, if you are putting flour, butter, eggs, flavoring, leveling, milk or cream into that cake at a specific time to make that batter, that determines if it's going to be a cake, for one, and not a batch of cookies or a meatloaf. It also determines what type of cake, whether it's a German chocolate cake, red velvet cake, chocolate cake, or a pound cake. That's the most vital time for making a cake. And so the most vital time for the spiritual bath process, I believe is at that time when it's being formulated into a spiritual bath. It is at that time the purpose and the intent is being infused into the entire spiritual bath. Now, at this time, I'm only phasing out the ready-to-use spiritual baths that I mail out. Depending on the feedback that I receive for this particular process, I may phase out all of the ready-to-use spiritual baths. So I look forward to hearing your feedback, from the waiting for the concentrated oils to arrive, to you infusing it with the energies, mixing it, also to when you're using it, along with the results. Do you feel that the results come faster? Was the whole process a little more easier? I think it's really going to make a difference, because this is a vital time when we're formulating as partners, we're formulating the spiritual bath. Your energies are here in the whole formulation process, and not at the end after everything has been said and done. You're just using the bath then. So thank you for joining me. Until next time.